At an annual salary of $150,000, you give yourself a $20,000 raise by moving to Las Vegas or Nevada in general. Plus, you can get 2 to 3 times the house you can get in California.
So much for joining me today on my Get Out of Dodge series.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited. I love this.
So tell me about Vegas, because we heard that tons of Californians were moving to Vegas during the pandemic and everything. Is that still happening?
Absolutely still happening. You're right, though. It did peak in like 2023 in the pandemic. Total for like 2020 to like 2022, 2023, we gained almost like 360,000 new residents, and the majority, like 20 to 30% of those, were coming from California. Since 2023, it's leveled out a little bit. I think the stats I have here was 2024, we had about 38,000 people coming in, down from the peak of like 47,000 people coming from California, but still a healthy amount of our business.
Absolutely. And people have always been moving from California to Vegas, even before the pandemic, right?
For sure. Californians think that it's a very attractive option because what is your state income tax? Like 13%?
Something like that, or at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the math on that before this, and at an annual salary of $150,000, you give yourself a $20,000 raise by moving to Las Vegas or Nevada in general. Plus, you can get 2 to 3 times the house you can get in California.
Right. So mostly it's kind of a tax savings and financial reason that people are moving.
I mean, you would know better than I am. What are your clients saying to you?
Well, a lot of them like the no income tax, no state income tax. And I've even had people moving from California to Vegas saying that when you move there, you essentially get a free house.
Yeah. I mean, what I see is the 2 biggest segments. I mean, taking out COVID, because that was just remote workers changing their lifestyle and whatever. But right now I see the 2 biggest segments. I see young single people, couples, families, the younger, the under 30, under 35, where they just feel defeated that they can never afford anything in California, despite how much they save and how hard they work. And then I see, the mid-Gen Xers getting ready to retire, maybe starting to retire, where they realize that their money will go a lot further. They can live on a fixed income so much more comfortably if they are still receiving any type of taxable income, maybe working remotely or from home or whatever. They're going to net more money in their pocket long run so they can retire more comfortably and live with more peace of mind that their taxes won't fluctuate and whatnot.
Great. And as more people want to explore the whole world, like maybe work remotely in Europe part of the year or in Asia or Australia, it's nice to have a home base maybe in Nevada where you have an international airport and lower cost of living, right?
So they come for the attractiveness of a tax-free state. Obviously, the weather's wonderful. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have very many floods. And we don't have a ton of fires either, which is a thing in California. So they initially come for that level of stability, but they stay because we have 2 million visitors almost a week, I believe, is the tourism statistic. And a lot of people think, well, I don't want any part of that. But the advantage to that is all those flights coming in have to go back out somewhere. So we have an abundance, right? We have an abundance of, like, I was looking at flights to Nashville this morning for September, and there's like 6, 7 direct flights just on Southwest a day. And then we have an abundance of entertainment and now sports. We have the Las Vegas Aces, the championship Golden Knights, Las Vegas Aces. We have the Raiders. We're working on that. We have the Las Vegas A's that will be coming soon. The stadium's probably about 20 to 35% built so far. And of course, we just got approval for an NBA team. We have a professional volleyball team in Henderson, an indoor football team, women's hockey team. That was just approved in the last couple of weeks. So if you're a sports fan for women's or men's sports, you have so many options as far as entertainment, in addition to great restaurants and world-class dining.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. And you can do sports betting too.
Yes, you can. If you like to add a little edge to your viewership.
Right, right. So a lot of benefits to living in Las Vegas, and you've also got Summerlin and Henderson that are just outside of the city
Mhm.
as suburbs, would you say, or neighborhoods?
For sure. So Henderson is its own city outside of Las Vegas. A lot of people don't realize Summerlin is actually a master plan community inside Las Vegas. Summerlin is not its own city. It's a master plan and it is still in the city of Las Vegas, but also a beautiful, highly desirable community. Both of them in their own right. I need to do a whole YouTube video on the differences, but both well sought after neighborhoods with great schools, great amenities. And
Hmm.
what a lot of people don't realize is locals, we don't go to the strip that often. I mean, once in a while, like I have tickets for game 4 for the Knights game on Tuesday to go to the playoffs. But I mean, other than the once in a while, we don't really like the great restaurateurs. They come out to the suburbs and we have local casinos. So we rarely go to the strip unless there's something specific we want to see or someone specific we want to visit.
Right, of course. It's a tourist attraction, and you have more local spots that you can go to as a resident.
Definitely do.
Yeah, nice, nice. So, what have you heard from some of your clients that have moved, say, from Southern California? Do they adjust to the weather in Las Vegas and the lifestyle and not having an ocean, those kind of things?
That is a great question. And I'm one of those people, I'm a water person. So what I love about it is I'm coming to San Diego in 2 weeks for an annual retreat or convention that many of us attend in real estate. Is I can jump on a flight. I can be in LA. I can be in San Diego in less than an hour flight time, be at the ocean, enjoy all the beautiful amenities. I'm definitely not bagging on California. I love it. And a lot of things that come along with it, especially, waterfront, everything. So, the customers that end up buying here, they love the easy proximity to make a quick 4 hour, 5 hour drive. And of course, we have private jet options as well for our luxury clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Our clients that I've had, that some of them you've worked with and got them new homes, they love coming back here because they still have family and they have friends.
Absolutely.
So they come out
and
for Christmas, birthday.
And their family and friends love to come here because they can play and see their favorite sports teams and all of it.
Right, absolutely. It's not remote like some areas that people might retire to. It's very accessible. So if retirees can move to a nice 55 plus community and still have their kids visiting from all over, like from the East Coast or wherever. Yeah.
And they don't have to stay with them because we have an abundance of hotel rooms.
That's so true. Yes, you can
which most people prefer.
Yeah. You can take your kids to the pool and have a great time.
Absolutely. So the one adjustment that you did mention is, obviously it's hot here during the summer. And so for a lot of our high-end clients that do, like, let's just say they downsize from California, maybe sell the larger home, but keep a little condo there. They'll go back and forth and then just spend their summers in California and then come back when the heat passes, or they'll do their traveling, as you said, to Europe or South America or wherever they're looking to visit. We just, as locals, will go out of town during those 6, 8, 10 weeks that it's very warm.
Okay. So that's how locals adjust, is just taking more trips during that July, August period.
Right. Like our school year ends early. So today was the last day of school on May 22nd. So school lets out early, whereas most schools around the country are finished in June. And then families are able to have more flexibility to travel and get out of the heat. For those that don't want to travel, I mean, a lot of people have private pools, community pools, sport club memberships or country club memberships where they can use pools. A lot of people have boats, jet skis where they'll go up to the lake and enjoy water sports. And of course, everybody has central air conditioning in their cars and homes. So you go from your air conditioned car to your air conditioned home to your air conditioned office and you get through it.
Right. And you can go to the gym and stay fit and not have to worry about being outside.
Yeah. In fact, one of our Sun City communities has an indoor walking track and an indoor and outdoor pool.
Oh, nice.
Really cool.
Excellent. Well, now that we're talking about real estate and that's always on people's minds where they're going to live. So you were saying your bulk of your customers are younger families that are looking for a home and also people that are starting to retire. So, what would a young family be looking at? Let's say you have a family of four coming from Southern California. What could they buy? What would be the ideal situation?
Great question. So I've got a question back for you. As a young starter, couple or family, what's the median price point in your market for them to get a starter home?
950,000 to about 1.2 million.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Our median price point is like 475,000.
Okay.
So if they did qualify for 8 or 900,000, they could get so much more value in the property that they choose versus, I don't know what a starter home looks like there, but here, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a nice neighborhood, decent school districts. That's going to be right around the $500,000 mark. But if they can afford it and they wanted to go higher, they could, get the pool, they could get the extra space, the extra bedrooms, and all of that. So they can get a lot more value. Or if they're, on a budget, they can get something that isn't, attached, or, they don't have to settle for 2 bedrooms instead of 3 or 4.
Okay. So what could they get for, like, say, 500,000? What would that be? Would that be a townhome or a single family house with a yard?
No, that's a single family home, moderate size yard, maybe not pool size, but if maybe a small pool, but a good size yard where you could have the kids, the pets, probably like 6,000 square feet, somewhere around there as a yard. And that would probably get you about 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2-story, somewhere in like 17 to 1,900 square feet.
Fantastic.
And if you're looking at condos and townhomes, you can get closer to the 350,000, 300,000 mark.
Oh, that's nice. Excellent. What if somebody wanted a pool? Because that sounds like something that would be an upgrade and, something you'd want to have in Vegas.
So are you asking if they're going to build a pool or they want something with an existing
pool? If they want to buy something with a pool, would that be like 700,000?
No, you can find homes with pools in the 500,000 range. They just might be smaller homes. Maybe they're 12 or 1,300 square foot home with a pool.
Okay.
Very possible. And it depends on the neighborhoods and school districts that you want to be in too. Like a retiree. In fact, I just showed one yesterday. I have it right here. And it was 599,000 with a pool, single story in a retirement community. So nice. It depends on the neighborhood. If it's Henderson, if it's Las Vegas, if it's Summerlin, if you want to be in North Las Vegas, different parts of town will have different value. Because somebody that buys in Henderson or Summerlin, they might be more focused on school districts. Somebody that buys on different parts of town, they're not as concerned with the schools. They want the bigger yard or the pool, things like that.
That's a great option for people that are downsizing or maybe moving out of a 2-story older home in Southern California. Maybe it still has a mortgage, hasn't been paid off. You can kind of maybe cash out of that, pay off the mortgage, and maybe with $400,000 or $500,000 purchase a new property in Vegas.
Definitely.
Yeah,
we see that a lot all the time.
You do.
I definitely see a lot of that. And I see a lot of folks that are coming from older homes in California that are building newer homes here. They're usually downsizing. They don't want to deal with the old roof and the radon or whatever the things are that you guys deal with in California. We don't have basements very often out here. So they will come out here and get something with a new roof, a new AC unit, a new, everything's warranted, instead of choosing to remodel the old home and spend, $100, $150, $200,000, depending on the size of the home. They can just get rid of the big home. If they want to keep a part-time residence, they'll downsize to something newer there and then buy something newer here.
Yeah. And a huge weight is lifted off their shoulders when they know that they can get rid of that mortgage.
Yep.
And just go play golf more often.
Absolutely. We have a lot of great golf courses. I didn't even touch on that because I'm not a golfer, but I have a lot of clients that are very much into golfers, and we have some wonderful public and private courses here.
And it's not too hot to play golf?
It definitely is in July, but they're still out there.
Yeah. And the rest of the year.
I'm a fair weather golfer, so you won't find me out there in July.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I've come to Vegas in October, November, and it's really nice.
Beautiful. Those are my favorite months, 100%. And it's been very mild this year. I mean, it's still in the 90s, I think, and it's almost June. So that's
Mhm.
pretty mild for us. And I know everyone says it, but it is a dry heat. So
It is a
for
dry
me,
heat.
yeah, for me, it doesn't really start getting too crazy until you're over triple digits. But if you go back to the East Coast, which I know we're focused on California today, if it's 80 degrees with 90% humidity, that's a whole different ball game.
That's totally different, like Florida, right? Or even
Yes,
Hawaii. Yeah, it can be hot.
musty.
Yeah. So, a lot of great things about Vegas. What's something you would advise people if they're thinking about moving to Vegas that people don't often think about that
That's
you'd
a
like
really
them
good
to
question.
know?
I think I
Yeah.
almost have to put that back to you because
Oh, okay.
you're a very active agent, Nancy, and you are talking to
Thank
people all the
you.
time. So
Well, I want to, yeah, go
when
ahead.
they are talking to you about I'm thinking about going to Arizona or I'm thinking about going to Vegas, what are they weighing?
That is a great question. You know, what I've heard from people is when they've moved to Arizona, they were actually some of the people that I've worked with that have moved to Arizona have been kind of disappointed because it's very vast and you might have to commute a long distance to go to the grocery store. It's a little isolating. There's not as much culture there, meaning you don't
Yes.
get as much Asian food or different international foods. But I don't think you have that issue over in Nevada, in Vegas.
I have not found it. But I
It's
mean, we have a very robust Chinatown and Chinese food and
mhm.
all the culture community. And we actually just announced plans, or this, not me, but the city of Las Vegas, where they're expanding that into a Filipino town. We have a
Oh,
very large
really?
Filipino community
Oh,
here. Yes. And of course, we
nice.
love our Hawaiian and Samoan friends. They call us the Ninth Island. So it is very diverse here. And there's
Yes.
a lot of different types of areas where you can find that culture and ethnicity in the food
Hmm.
and I'm very excited for Filipino Town.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think those issues that people have had with Arizona being kind of not as convenient as they hoped, things not being close together, I don't think that's an issue in Las Vegas. There's a lot
No,
of
we can,
convenience.
assuming there's no accidents or anything crazy going on like EDC or something. We
Hmm.
can get from one side. I can get from like North Las Vegas to the most southern side of Henderson in like 45 minutes to an hour. So although the traffic's definitely gotten worse in the last 20 years that I've been here, it's nothing like LA or Washington, DC or New York City or anything. It's still very manageable and it's pretty easy to get around.
Fabulous. Well, thank you, Nicole. And I wanted to end by saying I'm so glad I met you because you were my first Mike Ferry coach, and I
Yeah,
still remember some of those things you taught me in the beginning of my career. So,
that's so cool. Thank
yeah.
you.